Complete contract visibility is the bedrock of effective management of your vendor contract. Without contract visibility, you don't know where the next attack is coming from. It could be a force majeure clause that one of your vendors decides to use to try and get out of performing their obligations. This could be legitimate or not. It could be poor performance of one of your critical vendors. It could be that you have absolutely no idea how many vendor contracts you actually have, which means you're completely unaware of the spend you have with those particular vendors. Not to mention the lack of visibility you'll have of risks that could be emanating from that contract or that vendor. This exact problem is what used to give me the Sunday scaries when I was leading commercial and contract management teams over the last few years. So let's cover why vendor contract visibility is absolutely critical to your business and how you can get visibility of all of your vendor contracts. Having visibility and awareness of your vendor contracts means that everyone in your business can see the following. The vendors you already have a contract with, which means you might not need to bring in any new vendors to cover a new category or a new service that someone in your business needs. You'll have access to spend data, which means you can track elements such as scope creep and ensure that budgets are met. You'll have an accurate pipeline of renewals, which means your finance colleagues are going to be super happy because they can start budgeting and predicting when money is going to come out in subsequent years. You'll be able to capture risks associated with particular contracts or even the vendor, especially if you're capturing this data in a risk register. You'll be aware of all of the obligations that you have with your vendor and that they have with you. You'll be able to see all of your service level agreements, key performance indicators, and anything else that requires a level of performance within your vendor contracts. And you'll be able to see all contributing documentation to that contract. So, for example, this could be ISO certificates, SOC 2 certificates, which will give you an element of comfort that your vendors are taken seriously. Information security, data privacy, and risk management. See, contract visibility is about more than just knowing where your contracts are. It's about accessing insights into performance, risk, and spend so that your business has foresight to make informed business decisions later down the line. Contract visibility creates a pathway that allows your business to be more productive, proactive with the types of tasks it undertakes, and way more resilient. It goes to the point that procurement is more than about just cost-cutting initiatives. It lets you take control over your vendor base by controlling risk, controlling spend, controlling performance, and from there you can ensure you gain compliance, whether that's with your internal auditors or external auditors. But the main question is, how do we gain visibility of all of our contracts with all of our vendors? The easiest way to do this is to have a place to store all of your vendor contracts. And no, I absolutely do not mean storing them in an Excel database that someone's created and it's kind of in this Frankenstein document with different formulas, different cells, different dashboards, different objectives, because not everyone in your entire business can have access to this. And there's still so much data left on the table, it's kind of irrelevant now. And if you are doing this, you're just going to miss out on so much opportunity. So what I'm talking about is a contract repository. This is where you create a contract record that links back to a vendor record, where you can track key data points or even create your own. This is absolutely what you need, where you can visualize data with just a click of a button. But visibility extends beyond what contracts you already have in place, because I want to see what contracts are being worked on right now, or I may want to see how our negotiations are progressing with our vendors. And all of this is possible when you look beyond the confines of the status quo, which is typically the Excel spreadsheet. If you're interested in learning more about Gatekeeper and what we can do for you, then I've left a link in the description below where you can request a meeting so we can sort you out with a demo if this feels like a good fit from what you've seen on screen. And if you want to talk to me, I've left my Gatekeeper email in the description, so you can send me an email and ask any questions that you don't want to leave publicly in the comments. But before you go, I think that this video here could be super useful to you. So check that out before you leave, and I'll catch you real soon, my friends.